sure.
I would even venture to say even more so here, Jeremy, because Sebring is such a physical track. There are going to be a lot of drivers who find new blisters on their hands and places. Oh, as we have a big off. Is that Dr. Masson? I think it is. Don't quite know what happened. I just saw a car sort of flying sideways through the air. It's Dr. Robert Masson from the lead by himself in that number 11 Mazda prototype challenge car has gone off. We are still under green flag conditions, but the yellow are in hand on the timing stand. I don't know where that was on the track, Jeremy, do you?
No, I think it might have been 10, but I'm not 100% sure. I certainly didn't see.
Oh, Robert, who's shaking his head, realizes that that was perhaps avoided. Oh no, it was something broke on the suspension.
Failure.
Oh my goodness.
It's turn 10, isn't it?
Yep, full course caution is out. Wow, what a scary moment. It was coming into the braking zone at 10. Just when he got onto the brakes at full stop, something snapped.
The right front suspension just failed. Something, whether it was the upright, whether it was whatever it was, something broke on there, and the whole wheel assembly just came loose and just was kind of counted. It steered the car left on its own. Nothing that Robert Masson could do about that. So the championship leader was doing a super job there, keeping his nose clean. He was a bit disappointed after practice and qualifying. Having said that, in the practice sessions, he was confident in the car, but doesn't have a lot of experience around this racetrack.
Yeah.
But was doing exactly what he needed to do in the early stages of this race. But that was clearly a mechanical failure. Looking at it again, watch that left-hand side of the screen, the right front corner of the car, gets on the brakes, bang, left. It just broke right away and pitched the car sideways, and Robert Masson, a passenger from there. That's a glancing blow, not a heavy impact, but that's a pretty scary incident for Robert Masson.
For sure, and for Dr. Masson, who got his first ever win in the series at the Daytona round in early January. He had a handful of podiums last year, but really felt like this was making a difference. Of course, his son Kyle, who won the 12 Hours of Sebring last year, driving in the prototype challenge car, and driving in this series, was the champion of the same class. So Dr. Masson was carrying on the family name of winning in this category. But now the IMSA safety workers are with him, and they are going to get him out of the car. Very smart also for somebody who's not really used to crashing to know to stay in the car and wait until they get to you, to not do something brash like get out when it's still not a safe area. Yeah,
I'm sure he'd been on the radio to the team there, just saying, that everything's I'm fine. The car isn't.
Yeah.
And so his son Kyle certainly will be watching this race, cheering on. Kyle will be driving, who was the champion in this category last year. Hey fans, great race fans here at Sebring International Raceway. There's a lot of people here this weekend, and the crowd continuing to pour in today as well. Tremendous atmosphere here on this 3.74 mile racetrack.
Somebody said this morning when we were under a brief delay for the smoke and fog that was in the area, gosh, I didn't realize there were that many campers here already. Well, there are, but it was not their fault that we were a bit tardy coming up on the schedule today. Remember to drink your water, people, and reapply the sunscreen. It may not feel particularly hot out there yet, but the sun is beating down. You want to make sure that at the end of the day, you're ready for the 12 hours, which will be the main event this weekend. But right now, we are an hour and 20 minutes to go in this second round of the IMSA Prototype Challenge presented by Mazda, which means that we've elapsed 25 minutes, Jeremy. So the pit window not open for another 15. There is no point in coming in because your drive time not even close to being over.
Yeah, I mean, you can come into the pits. You just can't make your driver change and be good to go, because as you say, minimum 40 minutes drive time here to be eligible for championship points. But if there's something on the car that needs to be changed or whatever, you can come into the pits with no penalty, but you have to get back out again and complete your 40 minutes in order to be eligible for championship points. So if there's somebody toward the back of the pack maybe that's not happy with the car, they might want to change the tire pressures or something like that, it's a good opportunity to come in now and make that change, and you'll be able to rejoin the tail end of the going before the restart, because it's certainly going to be another lap or two, I think, before we get underway again.
Blisters. That scary ride for Dr. Robert Masson, is the suspension clearly just failing, and Robert just a passenger at that stage. And Jeremy started to say earlier, his son Kyle watching around the circuit.